The desert sky above Nevada's most classified military installation just witnessed something that sounds like it came straight out of a Cold War thriller. A mechanical bird, indistinguishable from nature at first glance, was caught hovering over the restricted airspace of Area 51. Before you scroll past this, drop a comment below with your theory. Is this the beginning of a new era of espionage? Or just another chapter in the endless cat and mouse game between superpowers? And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button now, because what we're about to reveal will change how you see the skies above you forever. The incident occurred during a routine patrol when sharp-eyed security personnel noticed something off about a bird's flight pattern. Unlike the natural fluid movements of actual avian species native to the Nevada desert, this creature maintained unnaturally precise trajectories and hover capabilities that defied biological physics. Within minutes, the facility went into a heightened state of alert. What makes this discovery particularly chilling is the sophistication of the technology involved. Modern surveillance drones designed to mimic birds have reached a level of biomimicry that's almost impossible to detect without specialized equipment. These devices can replicate wing movements, adjust their flight patterns to match weather conditions, and even produce sounds that mirror real bird calls. The United States Air Force response was swift and calculated. Specialized teams were deployed immediately to track and intercept the device. According to sources familiar with the operation, electromagnetic countermeasures were activated across the facility, creating an invisible dome that can disrupt the control signals of unauthorized aerial devices. The mechanical intruder was forced to land in a controlled descent, preventing it from self-destructing and destroying the evidence it carried. Security analysts have confirmed that the drone's exterior was covered in materials designed to absorb radar signals, making it nearly invisible to conventional detection systems. Its synthetic feathers were crafted from advanced polymers that not only looked authentic, but also provided the exact thermal signature of a living bird. The level of detail was extraordinary, down to the artificial eyes that contained high resolution, cameras capable of capturing classified documents from hundreds of feet away. This isn't the first time foreign intelligence agencies have attempted to breach Area 51 security using unconventional methods. The facility, officially known as Groom Lake, has been a target for espionage operations since its establishment in the 1950s. What's changed is the technology available to those who seek its secrets. Traditional methods like satellite imagery and ground-based surveillance have given way to micro-drones, AI-powered reconnaissance systems, and now, biomimetic devices that blur the line between nature and machine. The implications of this breach extend far beyond the Nevada desert. Intelligence experts are now reassessing security protocols at military installations worldwide. If a robotic bird can penetrate the defenses of America's most protected airspace, what other facilities might be vulnerable? The technology demonstrated in this incident represents a quantum leap in surveillance capabilities, one that challenges our fundamental assumptions about perimeter security. Russian intelligence services have a long history of innovation in espionage technology, from the passive listening devices hidden in the Great Seal of the United States presented to the American ambassador in Moscow in 1945, to the more recent development of micro-submarines and underwater drones. The GRU and SVR have consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible in covert operations. The bird drone represents the latest evolution in this ongoing technological arms race. The device itself was reportedly equipped with multiple layers of redundant systems. Even if one communication method was jammed, it could switch to alternative frequencies or operate autonomously using pre-programmed flight paths. Its internal storage contained advanced encryption that would take years to break using conventional methods. The battery technology allowed for extended flight times that exceeded anything currently available in commercial drone markets, suggesting access to classified or military-grade power sources. Witnesses on the ground described the moment of interception as surreal. The mechanical bird, having lost control signal, began to spiral downward in a pattern that almost perfectly mimicked an injured real bird. This fail-safe behavior was designed to avoid drawing attention, allowing the drone to land undetected and potentially be recovered later by ground operatives. However, the rapid response team was already in position, surrounding the landing zone before the device could touch down. Area 51's unique position in American military infrastructure makes it an irresistible target for foreign intelligence. The facility serves as a testing ground for experimental aircraft, advanced weapon systems, and classified technologies that won't see public disclosure for decades. Every nation with significant military ambitions wants to know what's being developed behind those fences. The potential intelligence value of even a few clear photographs or video recordings could be worth millions in strategic advantage. The United States has not been idle in developing countermeasures. Recent investments in anti-drone technology have produced systems capable of detecting even the smallest airborne objects. Acoustic sensors can identify the distinctive sound frequencies produced by drone motors, even when disguised within seemingly natural noises. Thermal imaging systems can spot the heat signatures of electronic components that differ subtly from living organisms. Machine learning algorithms analyze flight patterns in real time, flagging anything that deviates from expected biological behavior. What's particularly concerning to security officials is the possibility that this intercepted drone was merely a test run. Intelligence agencies often probe defenses with expendable assets to gauge response times, identify blind spots, and test the effectiveness of security measures. The real operation might still be pending, perhaps using lessons learned from this failed attempt to refine their approach. Each intercepted device provides valuable data to both sides in this technological chess match. The diplomatic fallout from such incidents typically plays out behind closed doors. Direct accusations are rare without absolute proof of origin, and even sophisticated analysis of the drone's components might not provide definitive attribution. Manufacturing techniques can be disguised, supply chains can be deliberately muddied, and plausible deniability remains a powerful tool in international relations. The United States will likely lodge a formal protest through diplomatic channels while simultaneously accelerating its own counterintelligence programs. Public awareness of these advanced surveillance technologies remains surprisingly low. Most people still think of espionage in terms of human spies with hidden cameras, not swarms of robotic insects or AI-driven surveillance networks. The reality is that modern intelligence gathering has become increasingly automated and miniaturized. The bird drone over Area 51 represents just one visible example of a much larger transformation in how nations spy on each other. The technology used in these biomimetic drones draws from multiple scientific disciplines. Ornithologists study bird flight mechanics to inform the design of more realistic wing movements. Material scientists develop lightweight composites that can withstand the stresses of flight while maintaining the appearance of organic tissue. Computer vision experts create algorithms that allow the drone to navigate autonomously, avoiding obstacles and adjusting to wind conditions just as a real bird would. The integration of all these elements into a single device represents a remarkable engineering achievement, even as it serves a concerning purpose. Security camera footage from the incident shows the precision with which these devices can operate. The mechanical bird was captured on video, hovering near specific buildings within the complex, clearly targeting areas known to House-sensitive projects. Its movements suggested either direct remote control by a skilled operator or remarkably sophisticated autonomous programming. Either scenario raises troubling questions about the extent of foreign intelligence, capabilities, and their knowledge of the facility's internal layout. The response protocols activated during the breach involved multiple layers of security. Ground teams sealed off sections of the base, ensuring that even if the drone transmitted data before being neutralized, the information would be limited to already compromised areas. Cyber warfare units scanned for any unusual network activity, checking whether the drone had attempted to infiltrate digital systems in addition to physical surveillance. Communications specialists jammed a broad spectrum of frequencies, creating an electronic dead zone that would prevent any signals from entering or leaving the area. Historical context provides important perspective on this incident. During the Cold War, both the United States and Soviet Union invested heavily in exotic surveillance technologies. The Americans developed the SR-71 Blackbird, capable of photographing vast territories from the edge of space. The Soviets experimented with everything from satellite killer weapons to nuclear-powered cruise missiles designed for deep penetration reconnaissance. Today's biomimetic drones are simply the latest chapter in this ongoing story of technological one-upmanship. The psychological impact of knowing that any bird, insect, or small animal could potentially be a sophisticated surveillance device cannot be understated. Military personnel at sensitive installations now undergo training to recognize subtle signs of artificial life. This includes observing whether birds land and take off in ways consistent with their species, checking if their calls match regional variations, and noting any animals that seem unusually interested in specific buildings or activities. The burden of constant vigilance adds stress to already demanding security roles. Industry experts in the defense sector have been warning about the proliferation of these technologies for years. What was once the exclusive domain of major intelligence agencies has gradually become accessible to smaller nations and even well-funded non-state actors. The components needed to build a basic surveillance drone can be purchased legally through commercial channels. The real barrier is integration and miniaturization, which requires significant expertise but is becoming easier as technology advances and knowledge spreads. The recovered drone is currently undergoing detailed forensic analysis at specialized laboratories. Every component will be examined for origin markers, manufacturing techniques, and unique identifiers that might reveal its creators. The software and firmware will be reverse engineered to understand its capabilities and look for vulnerabilities that could be exploited in future encounters. Even the materials used in its construction will be analyzed at the molecular level, searching for clues about where and how it was made. International law regarding airspace violations by unmanned devices remains murky. Traditional frameworks were designed for manned aircraft and satellites, not for micro-drones that can slip past conventional defenses. The United Nations and various international bodies are struggling to update regulations for an era where the definition of an aircraft becomes increasingly blurred. Is a robotic bird that weighs less than a pound subject to the same rules as a passenger jet? These questions have real implications for how nations respond to such incursions. The media coverage of this incident has been carefully managed. While the basic facts have been acknowledged, specific technical details about the drone's capabilities and the methods used to detect it remain classified. This information blackout serves multiple purposes, protecting sensitive counterintelligence methods while avoiding public panic about the vulnerability of military installations. It also prevents potential adversaries from learning exactly what worked and what didn't in their surveillance attempt. Looking forward, the arms race in surveillance technology shows no signs of slowing. Researchers are already developing next-generation sensors that could detect the molecular signatures of artificial materials from a distance. Quantum radar systems promise to see through stealth coatings and identify objects by their fundamental physical properties rather than reflected radio waves. Artificial intelligence will play an increasingly central role in both creating more convincing biomimetic devices and detecting them among genuine wildlife. The incident over Area 51 serves as a wake-up call for military planners worldwide. The days when a simple fence and armed guards could protect sensitive facilities are long gone. Modern security requires a multi-layered approach combining physical barriers, electronic surveillance, cyber defense, and constant adaptation to emerging threats. The cat-and-mouse game between intelligence agencies will continue, with each side leveraging new technologies to gain temporary advantages before countermeasures are developed and deployed. What makes this particular case so significant is the brazen nature of the attempt. Area 51 is not some minor installation with lax security. It represents the pinnacle of American military secrecy, guarded by some of the most advanced defense systems in the world. The fact that a foreign intelligence service believed they could successfully penetrate this airspace with a bird-shaped drone speaks volumes about their confidence in the technology and their assessment of potential vulnerabilities. It also suggests they considered the intelligence value worth the risk of exposure and international embarrassment if caught. The human element in these high-tech confrontations remains crucial. While sophisticated sensors and AI algorithms can detect anomalies, it was ultimately human intuition and experience that identified the mechanical intruder. Security personnel, who spend years observing the natural patterns of desert wildlife, develop an instinctive sense for what belongs and what doesn't. This combination of cutting-edge technology and trained human judgment provides the most effective defense against increasingly sophisticated threats. As we move deeper into an era where the boundaries between natural and artificial become increasingly difficult to distinguish, incidents like this will become more common. The skies above us, once the domain of birds and clouds, now host an invisible war of surveillance and counter-surveillance. Every nation with strategic interests is investing billions in these technologies, creating an ecosystem of mechanical spies that operate in plain sight, hidden among the genuine wildlife we take for granted. The next time you see a bird hovering, a bit too perfectly, or an insect following an unnaturally straight path, you might find yourself wondering what you're really looking at. And that uncertainty, that erosion of our ability to trust our own senses, might be the most unsettling aspect of this new reality we're entering.